Hello, my name is Armando Contreras, and I am going to give you a presentation on physical and mental health of seventh grade students. This is for my portfolio part 4 assignment for Professor McKee. I'm going to be focusing on cardiovascular endurance. Uh, the second slide is the average normal mental health of a seventh grader. At this age, they're aware of their emotional development, their social development. They want to be accepted by their peers. That's pretty normal. Their self esteem is important to them. The way they look is important to them. They accept how their body is changing, and they start building a moral development. Slide number 3, solutions to mental health problems in seventh graders. There's a lot of issues that some of the seventh graders deal with, which is anxiety, depression, peer pressure, low self esteem, stress, body image, bullying, and social media, and any kind of problems that these kids have. Um, we need to go ahead and seek professional help immediately, or bring a team of professionals at school to see what we can do to help them. Because all these issues are pretty severe. Some of the way we could, help with anxiety is teaching relaxation techniques, depression, building a support network, peer pressure. We need to go ahead and teach the kids assertiveness skills by role playing, low self esteem, focus on strengths and their achievements, teaching them, what they're good at. Um, Stress, good way to teach help with stress is teaching the kids to use planners or apps to get them organized. Um, Whenever we see any kind of bullying, we need to cut it out right away. We need to involve the school and let the peers know that it's not okay to go ahead and bully. And if kids see that, we need to redirect their peers to not do that. And also educate about cyberbullying. It's not okay to go ahead and make fun of anybody, through social media. Some of the other problems that seventh graders have are eating disorder problems. Some of the types of eating disorders, anorexia. Some of these kids feel they're thin already, and they feel like they gain weight, and so they stop eating. They have bulimia, where they eat and then they throw up, or they binge eat. They eat too much, and they don't throw up, and they just keep on eating. And there's a lot of problems that causes some of those eating disorders. Sometimes it's the way they grow up. They just have bad habits from the time they grow up. And they have, there could be some psychological factors, from low self-esteem, or they eat and it brings a peace to them. So we got to teach them how that can negatively affect their body. Social factors, from peer pressure, bullying, body image, body shaming, the media influence. And then, some of these kids, when they look at the media, it's unrealistic of what the media portrays of how a person should look. It's unrealistic standards. Solutions for eating disorders. Right away, we need to get professional help, but we also need to go ahead, and the role of a teacher is to go ahead and bring in the parents and to educate the parents as well of what their child is struggling with, and also to promote a healthy environment. And as soon as a teacher sees an issue, don't ignore it. Get professional help immediately. The normal physical development of a seventh grader, the physical development of a seventh grader is is during this time their body's going through a lot of changes. They go out go through growth spurts. Their body changes. They're going through puberty. Their bones start growing. Their brain start processing a little bit different. Their skin gets a little bit oily. They have high energy levels, physical activities. I am on slide number 9. The consequences of lack of cardiovascular endurance. Okay, what do they do if there is a lack of cardio endurance? Is they have reduced physical fitness. That means they can't perform a sport for a very long time, or they get tired very quickly. They have an increased risk of chronic diseases, so they have a lot of health issues, from high cholesterol, high blood pressure, obesity that could lead to a heart attack or eventually a stroke. In the later years, they have, usually, since they don't run or exercise a lot, they have a weak heart, weak lungs. They have low energy levels. They're always feeling tired, or they have like no stamina to do things. Some of the other consequences of slide number 10, consequences of lack of cardiovascular endurance is poor classroom performance. So kids who don't usually participate in physical activity, they do poor in the classroom. and vice versa. Kids who do participate in athletic activities, they do well in the classroom. So another consequence of lack of cardiovascular endurance is they have a higher risk of injury because their muscles are weak, and they could get joint damage. Um, and and usually, since physical activity helps with their stress levels, and the opposite, so kids who don't perform physical activities, sometimes they see themselves in it as a negative way. um, Slide number 11. What leads to good cardiovascular endurance? All right. So muscular strength, the muscles in the body, it's what all muscles could go ahead and lift. All muscles together could go ahead and lift for one time, like lifting weights, um, doing push-ups or standing up. Um, Another thing that kids should work on is muscular endurance, being able to do an activity for a long period of time, like jogging, cycling, sit-ups for a long period of time. And also, we need to promote stretching and being flexible. Um, and that's so they won't get hurt when they're doing any kind of physical activity like yoga, wrestling, gymnastics. And usually in all sports, there's a big need for like a balance and coordination. It's usually like a complex moving of pitching a baseball, or technique of kicking a ball, or or any sport has its technique, or walking on the beam or playing catch. um, the one I want to focus on, cardiovascular endurance, because without this one, oxygen won't get to the muscles and won't get to the brain. Through cardiovascular endurance, is the longer you work out, the longer you put muscle through your lungs, and the oxygen goes through your heart, and which pumps the whole body, the longer you can do an activity. So the longer you do that for, that means your muscles are getting stronger, you're being able to participate longer, and you have a healthier lifestyle. So that's my presentation. Thank you.